大家好，歡迎收睇 Gameplay HK， 有阿俊繼續玩 Horizon Zero Dawn 嘅。咁而家咧，我哋繼續主線任務哈，但係咧，我哋幫個長槍加指令之前睇埋另外少少資料先。
Task is complete. Yes. The focus network is active, built to your specifications. Check it yourself if you must. I'll wait. But I remind you of the reward you've been withholding. Quantum processing? Data has been compiled. Volume too great for transfer. How inconvenient for me. Come before me. You shall receive your reward. Very well. Healus. Threat detected inside Eclipse. Speak its name, O Shadow, and it will die. You will eliminate this one. Silence. Silence. Yes. A truth whispered at night is seen in the day. He was never one of us. It will be done.
哇！呢個黑帝斯都幾過分噶喎嚇，講大話嘅電腦真係好難有啊。
They're coming. Preparations are complete. Ah, Lucent Bahabas. Behold, as I promised you. What manner of great machine is this? I've never seen such a thing.
呢度係發現黑帝斯嘅經過嚟啊。
Stay your ground, Karja in shadow. Incorrect. Bow before the buried shadow. The buried shadow? I don't understand. Did Araman understand the glint hawk that perched upon the alight? It speaks scripture. Araman followed the shadow cast from the spire. To the mesa where Holy Meridian was founded. You will follow the shadow once more. I am a righteous man, chosen of the sun. But in times of need, the powers of shadow can accomplish what the sun alone cannot. Will you return to us what is ours, O shadow of prophecy? An army is required. Obey, and Meridian is yours. Of our obedience you can be certain.
一班漁民。不過咧，如果唔係阿踢摧毀咗呢個阿波羅，咁人類嘅文明咧就唔使重新開始。
I traveled far to find you. I heard your transmission. It was you, wasn't it? Entity is not known. I'm called Silence, and you are. I don't think you'd have called out if it wasn't something you wanted. You called, I responded. Will you tell me your name? Hades. You are a creation of the ancients. A war machine? Define timeline. Time? Ah. It is the 13th king of the Karja Sundom's reign. Define Karja. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Were you created by the ancients? I wonder how long you waited here, buried, until I chanced upon you. How long you'd have to wait for another. You're obviously very powerful, but you're not going to get anywhere without me. Titan Flame merely houses intellect. Define Karja. Now that's more like it.
咁就完啦。嗱，咁睇嚟咧，個經過就係由右至左一直咁睇嘅，咁大家可以自己留意翻啦。我哋就有長槍啦。就咁砌落去，有冇膠水膠紙啊？就咁黐埋嘅啫係嘛？哇！發光嘅喂，好神奇啊！恢復一個強大嘅武器。哇！大家睇下支槍，哇，好型喎喂！唔知攻擊力係咪高咗嘅咧？新嘅主線任務朦朧暗影啊！
I have to tell Avad that the Eclipse are ready to strike. After what happened with Derval, I know he'll defend the city. But the Spire...
我想問我而家可以點樣落去啊？定係我哋瞬移過去啊？不如 咁順而前咧，睇一睇我哋支槍啦，就已經唔同咗啊，變咗係紫色嘅。如果用 R2 攻擊嘅話咧，仲可以有電擊嘅效果。哇，正啊呢把嘢！不過咧就加唔到改造線圈嘅。嗱，咁過太陽城之前咧，我就想嚟咗呢個碉堡度先，目的咧就係過嚟攞一件甲嘅。好啦，我哋已經咧嚟到呢個碉堡入面啦。咁呢度咧就有一件應該係遊戲中最強嘅裝甲，就係呢件超編織嘅盔甲啊。咁好多朋友咧就嗌我之前早啲嚟攞，咁其實咧太早嚟攞係冇用嘅，我哋都開唔到呢度。咁而家咧就我明啦，12點就向上啦，15點就即係3點，3點即係向呢邊啦。跟住6、9同埋6就係下面啦，9就向左，搞掂。
Did it. Now to check the door. Those clamps have the armor locked in place. Maybe there's a way to power up the mechanism, release the clamps.
嗱，咁我哋咧嚟到呢度仲有嘢要做嘅喎，入到嚟咧都仲要解鎖。咁個鎖咧應該就係呢度啦。
Just need to install these power cells. That should do it. Only 2 more.
咁我將我哋攞到嘅電池咧塞晒入去先。
Just 1 more.
最後一個。
There we go. The last one.
玩法都係一樣啦。呢個係幾多度啊？
Now to get the dials in position. There must be some kind of code.
90度、270度、360度唔使搞啦，450同埋630嘅。嗱，呢個第3個就唔好喐佢啊，因為360度嘅，跟住450就呢邊，630就呢邊。
Did it.
Yes， 搞掂。
Let's have a look at that armor inside.
好啦，呢邊冇嘢嘅話咧，我哋就出嚟攞件盔甲啦。
Now let's see what we can do with this material.
哇，正啊！攞到一個編織者造型啊，就係呢個箱啦，積盾者。攞埋我獎杯添，跟住咧我哋就可以裝備佢。呢件積盾者咧就唔可以改造嘅，但係咧佢就可以吸收傷害。哇，正啊！換咗佢先。咁個造型換完之後咧就係咁噶啦，閃閃發光咁，勁靚。喂，不過咧去呢個太陽宮殿之前咧，我突然間醒起有啲嘢需要翻一翻嚟啊！我哋呢個萬舞之心嘅位置，原來咧嚟到呢度就可以得到一個好重要嘅情報啊！就係喺呢度講嘢啊。
Aloy, how kind of you to spend a moment with me before you depart. There can be no doubt now. You are a blessing made flesh, the will of the goddess incarnate.
It's really not that simple, Tirsa. But I guess it's close enough.
I know the path ahead will be dangerous. To kill a metal devil sounds impossible, but I believe in you.
Thank you.
嗱，喺呢個時候咧，我哋就可以問到羅斯特嘅嘢，終於有機會知道究竟羅斯特點解會成為被逐者嘅。
Tirsa, I want to know Rost's story. Why he was made an outcast. He never told me, said he took an oath of silence. What did he do?
Oh. Yes, that.
What crime did he commit?
I will tell you if you wish. But it is a long story. Are you sure you want to hear it now?
呢個問題咧，其實由隻 game 一開始就已經留喺我哋嘅心入面，所以咧一定要問落去嘅。
Of course I want to hear it. Tell me.
Rost never committed any crime. He was an outcast by choice.
What? What do you mean?
Many years ago, before the derangement, before the Red Raids, a band of murderous outlanders, 12 in number, struck without warning. At Mother's vigil, they took hostages. and then pressed on, headed for Devil's Thirst.
萬舞之手呢個咩地方嚟㗎？
Mother's Vigil? Where's that?
You would know it as the Forsaken Village, near the Karja border. But at the time, many families lived there. Ross was one of them. His mate was killed fighting the Outlanders, and his daughter was among those taken hostage.
His daughter? What was her name?
Alana. She was just 6 years old.
咁之後呢？之後點樣啊？我哋問埋落去啊。
Nora Braves couldn't stop 12 Outlanders? Or rescue the hostages?
It was quite impossible. We outnumbered them, but every time a brave came within bowshot, the Outlanders killed a hostage.
What did they come here to do?
That was never discovered. We couldn't track closely enough to observe them. We know they camped beyond Devil's Thirst for 2 days. There were reports of strange noises. And then, as suddenly as they came, the Outlanders made their way back to the border and disappeared.
跟住嘅選項，我哋問埋阿羅斯特個女先。
What happened to Rost's daughter? She was killed.
Rost was one of the braves who tracked the Outlanders, keeping his distance. There were 6 hostages still alive when they reached the border, Alana among them. Rather than release them, the Outlanders slit their throats and left the corpses just across the border, mocking us.
好變態啊！
Why?
Cruelty. They knew the faithful Nora would not leave the sacred land to collect the bodies, let alone pursue them. They thought themselves safe from our vengeance.
嗰班人係咪黐線㗎？覺得做完衰嘢之後冇人報仇，咁阿羅斯特一定係出咗去㗎啦。
Are you saying that Rost went after them? That he became an exile?
No. Rost was beside himself with grief, but even so, he would never have broken taboo.
Then what did he do?
He called upon the most terrible and secret rite of the Nora tribe. He begged to be made a Death Seeker.
喂，呢個 Death Seeker 有咩嚟㗎？
A Death Seeker? What is that?
One who dies to go seeking, and in seeking, brings death to others. The ritual drags the spirit from one's body, releasing it to All Mother's care. The heart beats, the mind thinks, but the spirit has moved on.
I don't understand.
Rost went after the Outlanders, but his spirit never left. It remained here with All Mother. He gathered the bodies of the slain and returned them. And then he set out in pursuit, not as an exile, but a weapon of vengeance. A barbed arrow shot from a bow, never to return.
喂，咁過分嘅你哋嗌咗羅斯特，佢去報仇去幫你哋，但係等於唔俾佢翻嚟，佢出完去就。如果佢翻嚟嘅話，冇理由會成為呢個被逐者啊，係咪啊？
But Rost did return.
Yes. A full year later, and terribly wounded. He collapsed at the border of the sacred land. A hunting party came upon him. He was delirious, in agony. By law, he should have died where he lay. But one of the hunters broke taboo, and reaching across the border, she dragged him to our side.
Who was she?
A brave who'd lost a mate and 2 sons to the very Outlanders that Rost pursued.
喂，咁嗰個人係邊個？我想知佢係邊個喎？話晒都救咗羅斯特喎。
So Rost never finished his mission.
To the contrary, he killed all 12. Tracked them to disparate places the world over, he said. Meridian, Ban-Ur, the Claim, Utaru land, further even, into the Forbidden West. The last he killed nearly got the best of him. Wounded, he stumbled and crawled back to us, hoping to die as close to the sacred land as he could. He never expected nor asked to be dragged across the border and nursed back to health. That was done to him, leaving us, the matriarchs, in a difficult position.
有咩咁尷尬呢？問埋呢個啊。
Why couldn't you just welcome him back?
Rost had been made a death seeker, Aloy. He no longer had any place among the tribe. By law, he should have been driven back out. But we couldn't bring ourselves to do that, so we offered a compromise.
You made him an outcast.
Yes. We offered to do so on the condition he never speak to anyone of this exception.
After all he did, all he suffered, to be declared an outcast was his reward.
Rost was overjoyed. He never expected to live another day in the sacred land, let alone the embrace, so close to the goddess. He resolved to spend the rest of his days in solitude, and was happy to do so.
直至到阿羅伊嘅出現呢，將阿羅伊交咗俾佢撫養，所以佢先至唔使孤獨過埋個餘生。其實我覺得佢真係好慘，為個部族做咗咁多嘢，雖然佢都係為自己去復仇啊。最後一個選項啦，應該。
But then you found me, and gave me to him.
Yes. Another compromise. The matriarchs feared you, and would not let you be raised by the tribe. And so we turned to Rost. I knew that he would take care of you, bring you up, teach you to worship All-Mother and respect the ways of the tribe.
He certainly tried anyway. You took a man who'd lost his daughter and made him raise an infant girl? Doesn't that strike you as callous?
I'm inclined to think the course of events has shown the wisdom of our choice. And I'm quite certain that from the moment he laid eyes on you, he saw you as a gift, and never a burden.
All right, Tirsa, that's quite a story.
好唔開心嘅故事啊！我哋問埋個洛拉族啦吓。
The Nora have suffered terrible losses, Tirsa. What's to become of them now?
That will be for the goddess to decide. Only she knows the future. For the moment, my sister matriarchs and I will see to the wounded. And as I promised, anyone who wishes to join you at Meridian, we will declare seekers. I think for the time being, we should remain here in the mountain, close to the goddess.
That might be best. If nothing else, it's a defensible position.
好啦，唔好講啦，講完啦我哋。
It's time for me to move on. I thank you for doing what you could to help me through the years, and for telling me Rost's story.
I wish I could have done more, but I am just one woman.
As am I. No need to sell ourselves short.
Oh, thank you, Aloy. I will pray for you.
Okay, I guess it can't hurt.
其實提伊莎真係好好人，如果唔係佢咧，我阿羅伊其實會好慘。跟住，唔係呢個都係好人，我想揾個衰人，我想同佢講下嘢。嗱，呢個衰人睇佢有冇嘢講先。
The anointed. I misread the signs. Forgive.
I told you, Lansra, I'm not your anointed.
咁就冇啦，再講下嘢先。
I'm sorry I didn't see you.
You still don't. I don't think you can, Lansra.
Forgive me.
Off your knees, Lansra. Start living on your feet with your eyes open.
佢好啦，佢都跪我哋啦，我哋放過佢，我哋同其他人講下嘢先。因為咧呢度應該有一啲我哋救過又或者幫助過嘅族人㗎。
In all my years, I have never seen anything like that. The anointed will make
喂，冇特別嘢嘅喎，
They have done to the Nora.
呢個都係唔識佢嘅。 之後就跪喺度呢個咧，呢個嘢講應該
My life has been long, but I've never seen anything like that. Tirsa was right. A blessing, not a curse. We were so unsure.
The killers did their
就係咁咋？
but by the will of the
咁你咧，
gods.
索拿
I will lead a war party to Meridian. You have my
She's so
word.
young for so much responsibility.
？OK，呢度呢度呢度。
How did you do that?
Shush, Arana. She's the anointed.
傾下偈先，呢兩個我哋認得㗎。
We'll go to Meridian, Aloy. I'll bring Mother's spear.
Arana.
Your father is right. You belong here. You both do.
咁又係嘅，幾隻守侍者都唔夠打，過去嘅話咪盞拖累我哋，係咪啊？
Thank you, Aloy, for everything you've done. I will make sure Arana is kept safe.
Dad, I'm not a kid anymore.
唉，好啦，傾完啦。呢邊咧，呢邊好似就死咁喎，但好似同唔到佢傾偈。係啦，
I saw you go
Aloy,
inside
how
and
did you
saw
do
you
that?
emerge.
Shush, Arana.
喂，你哋唔好咁嘈啊！
You were an outcast once. And now,
Go away.
I'm not sure what you are.
喺到呢個傻傻地㗎啦。
May the goddess protect you on your journeys, Aloy. I will see to Brom.
呢兩個人講嘢咧冇 close up 喎，
She will lead us.
都好啊，佢可以翻入嚟。
Aloy, how did you do that?
頭先已經同你講完嘢啦。誒，懷疑咧，
Aloy. I don't know what to say.
Say that you'll see me at Meridian.
Of course. That much is simple. But the rest...
Complicated. I know. But maybe if I took you into the heart of the mountain...
No. At least, not yet. I don't know. Please don't think less of me, Aloy. But the goddess chose you to see that. Not me.
Right.
其實我哋見到嘅嘢咧，完全係可以公開俾大家知，就唔需要收埋嘅。講下呢個先，以為仲有得揀喎。咁點解好咧？我哋逐樣睇下先。
So the survivors took shelter in the mountain? By law, only matriarchs are allowed inside.
It was Tirsa who broke the taboo. Ordered the tribe into the mountain for safety. Lansra, well, she didn't agree. But I don't think anyone heard her over all the screams and shouting.
Tirsa's decisions saved lives. Good for her. Common sense isn't always so common around here.
日食教入侵同埋個傷勢都灰咗，我哋揀一揀入侵先，好似睇過
Tell
啦。
me about the attack. What happened?
They struck from the east. Our sentinels saw the killers coming. Said that beside them marched Deathbringers and Corruptors and other machines, driven mad. We took ground, met them with clouds of arrows. Some fell, but they kept coming. Finally, we withdrew to the gates of the Embrace to make our stand. But they were too much for us. Those who survived fell back to the mountain.
哦，呢啲我哋之前已經講過啊，所以咧佢就灰咗啊。咁嘅話，我哋只唔成見咯，都講完啦，係咪？
I'll be on my way then.
I always knew you weren't like other Nora.
Neither are you, Varl. Maybe, if we survive all this, I can show you what I've learned. What I'm learning.
Perhaps. If the goddess so wills it.
See you in Meridian.
跟住之後咧，應該仲有個衰人喺度嘅喎，佢喺邊咧？唔係，啊係你啦，女婿。
The tribe I served is gone. Soon I will be too.
The Nora have lost too many, Resh. But in your case, I guess they can lose one more.
點解冇嘢講啊？就咁傳佢就算啦。唉，好啦，咁呢度啲人咧應該全部同佢講晒嘢噶啦。咁我哋咧去太陽宮殿之前咧，睇下再揾一揾羅斯特個墓，睇下會唔會有啲咩特別嘅對話。對完話咧，就真係過去進行主線啦。
To think he built all this alone. So many memories. It's not home anymore. Not without Rost. There's nothing for me here anymore.
好啦好啦，阿羅斯特個墓咧就喺呢度嘅啫。傾偈。
Hi, Rost. I'll just take this off. Don't want him listening in.
係咯，我哋啲私人對話冇俾人聽到。
Hi, Rost. A lot has happened. So, I went inside the mountain. Do you remember the night before the proving? The final lesson you taught me? You said I needed to serve a purpose bigger than myself. Well, it couldn't get much bigger. It's the same purpose that drove Elizabeth and Gaia when they were willing to die for. So yeah, I'll do it. Give myself to that. For Elizabeth, and Gaia, and for you.
繼續。
I've got what I need to destroy Hades. The Master Override. Now all I have to do is drive it into Hades' skull, so no problem there. The final battle will be fought at Meridian. Hades will come for the Spire, and I'll be ready.
仲有？
I found out how Elizabeth died. She sacrificed herself, as you might expect. Said something about going home. I wonder where that was for her. If I ever find out, I'd like to go there. See it myself. Assuming I actually survived the battle at Meridian, of course. Which, let's face it, is... well... who knows? Well, I'll try to come back if I can, but... I guess this might be it. Thank you, Rost. Thank you for everything.
好啦，我哋禱告完畢咧，真係可以去子午城啦。俾我估中咗，阿羅伊真係想去揾伊麗莎白個屋企啊！唔知我哋會唔會真係有機會見到咧嚇？好啦，我哋已經嚟到咧子午城，入緊去太陽宮殿同太陽王傾偈嘅。哇！佢咁中意坐呢個位，見親佢都係呢度噶嚇，唔使瞓覺嘅咩
？Aloy, what brings you to Meridian?
A threat. Helis commands a legion of fanatics called the Eclipse. They will attack soon from the west, with an army of ancient war machines. But that's not the worst of it. They'll bring a mind with them, god, demon, machine, whatever you want to call it. It's called Hades. And it doesn't want Meridian at all. It wants the Spire. And if it gets there, it will send out a call, waking more ancient machines, more than we could ever defeat. All will be lost. We can't let that happen.
I'm trying to understand, but my responsibility lies with Meridian.
Meridian isn't the target, Avad. You have to defend the Spire.
Perhaps the Vanguard, Your Radiance.
Yes. Send them to the Spire. Eren knows Aloy. He won't question it.
And have the city guard fortify the western ridge. There they can be seen to protect Meridian and the Elite, where the Spire rests.
Aloy, allow me to apologize for my behavior before. After everything that happened with Ursa, I was confused. If we're to fight together on the brink of life and death, I'd prefer to do so with your forgiveness.
Then you have it. As long as you don't confuse me with her again.
Even a king can learn his lesson. Good then. I'm I'm glad that's behind us. Now, it will take time to prepare our defenses. Please, tell me what you know of our enemies. Everything.
I don't know about everything, but I'll tell you what I can.
以為咁就講咗㗎啦嚇，定真係要講㗎？同冇罪嘅馬拉德交談啊！其實咧，我覺得阿羅伊根本就冇將個太陽王擺喺自己心入面嘅。再傾下偈先。
Have you spoken to Blameless Murad?
未。
Not yet, but I will.
He wishes to speak to you. Defensive preparations are his responsibility.
啊，咁好啦，我唔阻你啊，你繼續喺度睇啊。其實佢望緊啲乜我想知。就喺呢度望住座城，睇下有冇人入嚟見佢啊！低 B 啊，你咁鬼得閒嘅你啊！跟住咧就嚟呢度，嗰個古古怪怪嘅政客，睇下佢喺邊先。啊，呢度啊，呢度。
Quietly does it. Panic in the city will only create another enemy. And do keep me appraised of each new arrival.
喂，你講完就到我啦。
Ah, Aloy. Preparations are underway on the rigid defenses and at the spire. Word was sent to every corner of the Sundom. Our allies offered their steel. Some came for Meridian, others for shards. But many came for you, by name.
For me.
Don't be so humble.
關我哋咩事啊？哇，好多嘢問，問咗而家呢個先。
I suppose all we can do is wait for the attack.
Exactly. It's not a feeling I cherish, but our spotters at Evening Sign report there's still no movement in the west. So, if there's more you need to do elsewhere, seize this time to do it. Otherwise, I've made the apartment of Olin Delverson available to you. You can sleep there, if sleep comes.
我哋好耐冇瞓過，真係可以去瞓下喎。但係咧，喂，應該仲有嘢講㗎，睇下先。
I'm afraid all we can do is wait. Get some rest at Olin's apartment.
哎呀，衰人啊！
Tend to other matters.
等等等等，有個檔案修復咗，我哋可以睇下嘅。嗱，第一個咧，呢個就係講應該係 Zero Dawn佢實行前所準備嘅嘢。咁有啲人咧係俾人擄走，韞住咗，再同佢講解個情況嘅。咁非常時期，梗係要做翻啲非常嘅嘢啦。另一個咧就喺8個月之後嘅事啊！好啦，呢個其實都有啲心路歷程啊，Zero Dawn建造嘅經過咁啦，咁大家有興趣就慢慢睇，又或者遲少少咧，等佢哋全部修復晒咧，我哋一次過睇下。咁首先咧就造訪2個防禦站，同埋一啲準備工作，之後咧先至休息。咁首先就去咗做準備工作先。好啦，我哋嚟到第一個防禦站啦，有個關口咁樣，同埋咧有支嘢喎，呢支咩嚟㗎？佩脱拉啊
Huh. So you must be Aloy then. I thought there'd be more of you.
More of me.
Thicker, I suppose. More of a gear wheel, less of a ringlet. Don't get me wrong, you're very well struck.
Do all Osseram flirt at the most inopportune times?
Inopportune? Battle hasn't even started yet. Petra Forge woman. I hail from the Free Heap. I'll be heading back in the next dust storm. Murad asked me to check over the city arsenal first. Cannons have aged well, but I've cleared their throats so they can really roar.
哇！呢個人咧係武器維修嘅喎，我哋可以做測試員。
Can I try one?
Everybody wants a turn. Have at it then.
睇下先，呢件係咪玩呢件啊？撳住 L2R2咧就可以喺附近嘅彈藥堆嗰度補充彈藥，係咪真係呢個啊？哇！咁樣吸嘅好過癮喎喂！吸滿就6發。哦，原來係咁樣玩嘅。佢首先咧就要吸彈藥啦，吸夠之後咧就要儲住氣咁樣移去呢邊，移去我哋嘅目標，跟住射出去。 好啦，咁執埋棵草咧，我哋再上去吓，幾得意啊！其實會唔會係啲教學嚟啊？呢啲，跟住呢度傾偈。
Aloy, I told you I'd be here.
You did, Teb. But have your wounds even had time to heal?
Honestly, if I fought, I'd probably come undone. But don't worry, I'll leave that to the other Nora at the Spire. I brought supplies instead. These Karja have made me an honorary quartermaster, whatever that means.
It sounds impressive.
I could get used to it. We'll be setting up caches of arms and medicine under these banners. Look for them when the fighting starts. Aloy, when you went into the mountain, did the goddess tell you our chances?
She didn't need to. I know we can do this, Teb.
Maybe we can.
一定要贏啊！如果唔贏嘅話咧，係死硬啊！全人類都會死啊！執嘢先。
Place really couldn't be more different to the sacred land, could it?
我諗佢只係其一咧，就係呢一支啊！好啦，咁呢度睇完嘅話咧，我哋就過埋嚟呢邊啦。呢度咧就係尖塔嚟嘅。咦，尖塔我之前應該未嚟過嘅喎，可以順便去參觀下喎。嗱，大家睇下呢座就係尖塔啊！好殘眼喎個太陽，咦，擋住咗添。啊，點解座塔咧會起到咁樣扭扭曲曲嘅咧？真係可以起到嘅咩？誒，好啦，有人啦，有人啦，睇下先。
Taller than the highest tree.
These Karja in their frilled armor look like turkeys.
But there are so many, and now we are so few.
They are not our foe. Not this time.
Quiet now. She comes.
講咗咁耐先知咩叫受膏者啫？唉，傾偈啊
War Chief Sona. War Chief, you seem uncomfortable.
The Nora do not belong here. I do not belong here. I will fight the metal devil that threatens us all, but my place is in the sacred land. The wrongness here jags at me like an arrowhead.
I'm sorry to put you through this.
Do not be sorry. This will be ended. My spear, my word.
咁啊，咁你打完仗就翻去啦吓。之後，我哋有幾個位要傾偈嘅喎，傾晒佢先。仲有呢度。
Greetings, Aloy. Don't. You don't need to bow. The Anointed doesn't like it.
She doesn't much like being called anointed either. It means a lot to have you here, Varl.
I gave my word.
So, Meridian, what do you think?
I've seen many new things since I first met you. I should thank you.
Varl, what's wrong?
You really want to know? All right. I'm in a foreign land, a tainted land, defending a faithless city that looks like nothing I've seen. From something I can't imagine. And you, after all that's happened, all you've done, I feel like I should drop to my knees and worship you, but I know you don't want that.
Boy, things are pretty tough for you, huh? Thanks for telling the other Nora not to bow. It's the last thing I need.
Don't be too hard on them. They only joined this fight because the Anointed bid it so.
Is that why you came?
No. I would have come just to see you one more time. And we must fight a metal devil, because the goddess says. Or because you say.
I think the goddess and I are in agreement. We're both glad you're here.
So am I.
哇！睇嚟阿羅伊係咧萬人迷嚟嘅喎，個個都中意佢嘅喎嚇。啊，睇埋呢邊先，呢邊好多人啊，睇個款。
So who are these guys?
They call themselves the Eclipse.
What does that even mean?
It's when the moon gets in front of the sun, idiot.
Is that supposed to sound scary or something?
I don't know. They used to be Karja. Karja are always yammering about sun and shade.
Well, if they used to be Karja, how tough can they be?
Yeah, they're best guys dressed like birds. We'll rip their little feathers off.
And let's not get cocky, boys.
其實我想講咧，你哋講嘢有回音啊，係人都聽到啊。唉，傾偈啊。
Aloy. So here we are again, gearing up for a fight. Only this time it sounds like the bad guys have a lot more firepower. What are we up against, really?
I'm not sure. But there's gonna be a lot of them, and they'll have machines. And if they get past us, it's not just Meridian that will fall. The rest of the world will go with it.
That's big. It sounds like our kind of fight. Right, guys? Well, where do they put the Vanguard?
At the front of the line!
And why?
Steel before iron!
And what are we gonna do?
Hit them like a hammer till they can't hit back!
Damn right! You hear that? Nobody's getting past the Vanguard. We're here for Meridian. And we're here for you.
Thank you, Erend. Ursa would be proud.
Well, only if we win.
喂，呢隊人呢，其實應該係為呢個全人類而戰嘅，淨係保護個支唔成係唔夠噶。嗱，要講嘅嘢呢，我哋都講晒啦。其實，咁以我所知呢，如果我哋有做多啲副任務啦，呢度係會有多啲人嘅對話噶。但係因為呢，我想早啲完成個主線啦，咁大家可以睇得暢順啲啦，所以呢，我就諗住遲少少先做呢個副任務。咁啊，爭嗰些少對話嘅，不過唔緊要啦。咁我哋呢，今集暫時就嚟到呢度先啦下集我哋就要打最終嘅戰鬥啦。希望大家中意，我哋下集再見，多謝各位收睇，拜拜。